So, what's the real difference between a business initiative that totally transforms a company and one that just fizzles out? Well, it's not always about the data or the strategy. A lot of the time, it's about the team. Today, we're going to decode the specific roles inside Six Sigma, and you'll see just how putting the right people in the right seats is the ultimate game changer.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever been there? You're on a project, you've got perfect data, a flawless analysis. I mean, the solution seems like pure genius. And then, in practice, nothing. It just completely falls flat. It's so frustrating, and honestly, it happens all the time. So, what's going wrong in those situations? Well, more often than not, it's not the data, it's not the software. The whole thing breaks down because of the human element. The success or failure of a big project like this almost always comes down to one thing: having clearly defined roles. And that is the secret sauce we're digging into today.
You see, the real power of Six Sigma, what really makes it stand out from all the other buzzword initiatives, is its disciplined, almost military-like approach to who does what. It is built from the ground up on a foundation of crystal-clear accountability. This slide really just nails it. Without defined roles, a framework like DMAIC is, well, it's just a bunch of letters on a page, a theoretical exercise. But when you assign roles, each one of those steps becomes a specific action that a specific person is accountable for. It's what connects that frontline project to the big picture strategy. And maybe most importantly, it stops projects from just stalling out and wasting everyone's time and money. Clear roles are step one to getting any real return on your investment. All right, so where do we even begin building this elite team? We start at the very top. We're talking about the high-level strategists. These are the folks who are looking at the mission from 30,000 feet, providing the vision and the resources for the whole operation. First up, you've got your executive leadership. Think of them as the mission architects. Now, their job isn't to get lost in the weeds of statistics. No, their job is to set the strategic goals, to greenlight the budgets, and, this is so important, to provide what our source material calls cultural air cover. Their visible support basically sends a message to the whole company. Hey, this matters, pay attention to this. Next, you have the champion, and wow, is this a critical role. The champion is the bridge, the person who translates that high-level vision from the boardroom into something real on the ground. They take a vague problem, like our shipping is too slow, and they turn it into a specific, chartered project with a clear goal. They're also the ones who pick the teams and, crucially, clear any organizational roadblocks that get in the way. And look at this. It perfectly shows that top-down flow. The executives set the big strategic targets, the champions translate those targets into actual chartered projects, and then those projects get launched by nominating the belts to go out and get it done. It's a super clear chain of command that makes sure every single bit of analysis serves a real business need. Okay, so we've moved from the strategists down to the core execution team, the belt operatives. If the leaders are the ones setting the mission, these guys are the highly trained specialists on the front lines, the ones who actually make change happen. This table is a fantastic, at-a-glance look at the whole hierarchy. The key thing to see here is how the time commitment and the scope of work scales. You've got the master black belt, who's basically the full-time architect for the entire program, all the way down to the yellow belt, who might just contribute here and there when needed. This tiered system makes sure that you're applying the right level of expertise to every single problem. Let's just zoom in on the black belt for a second, because they are truly the engine of this whole system. These are your full-time change agents. They own complex projects from the very beginning to the very end. They lead the team, they do the heavy lifting on the statistical analysis, and, this is the big one, they are responsible for proving the ROI by quantifying and documenting the financial savings. Okay, so a project is a huge success. Great, but what happens after the team goes their separate ways? Well, for any change to actually stick, you need a different set of roles to step in, the long-term custodians. These are the people who make sure that today's big improvement doesn't just become tomorrow's old problem all over again. And this slide highlights such a brilliant distinction between two of these key players. On one side, you have the process owner. They hold permanent custody of the process. They have the official authority to change how things are done. But on the other side, you have the subject matter expert, the SME. They provide the deep, on-the-ground knowledge of how things actually work. They know what's practical. And let me tell you, you absolutely need both for any solution to be effective and sustainable. All right, so all the players are on the field. We know who they are. Now let's watch them run a play. Let's see how they execute a mission together using that disciplined DMAIC framework. This is where it all comes together. This is the playbook in action. And notice the handoffs. It starts high level, with the champions and process owners defining the mission. Then the belts and the SMEs dive into the data to measure and analyze. The whole team collaborates to improve the process. But the most important step might just be that last one, control. This is where the black belt formally hands off ownership to the process owner. That's what ensures the change actually sticks. It's just a beautifully orchestrated transfer of responsibility. Look, if you take only one thing away from all this, let it be this. Assign your roles first. Just sending a bunch of people to a training class and hoping for the best is a perfect recipe for stalled projects and a ton of wasted money. The disciplined way to do it is to audit your talent, meticulously match the right people to the right roles, and then you execute. I really want to end on this powerful quote from our source material. Disciplined role execution converts Six Sigma from a project into a sustainable profit engine. And that's really the whole point, isn't it? The goal isn't just to finish one project. It's to build a machine, an engine for continuous, profitable improvement. And it all starts with putting the right player in the right position. So the question I'll leave you with is, who on your team is ready for their role?